If you're not disciplined, you're nothing. Because discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. You think greatness is talent? You think champions are born? Nah, man, that's a lie. Let me tell you the truth. You don't become the best because you want it. You become the best because you suffer for it, because you wake up every day and do what others won't do. That's called discipline. And without it, you're nothing. Discipline is doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. You hear me? Read that again. You want to change your life? You want to be the best? Then stop talking, stop dreaming, start doing. Discipline is the price. Pay it or stay average. The choice is yours. Discipline. Man, let me tell you something. You can't do nothing in life without it. If you ain't disciplined, you're nothing. That's the truth. You can have all the talent, all the skills, but if you ain't disciplined, you ain't gonna make it. Look, when I was young, I didn't know what discipline was. I was angry, lost, had all this energy, but nowhere to put it. That's when Kiss D'Amato came into my life. He taught me something, man, discipline. And that changed everything. I wasn't born with all the tools, I wasn't the most gifted, but what I had to work for. And discipline was the key. Kiss said, Mike, if you want to be great, if you want to be a champion, you got to learn how to control yourself, control your emotions, control your mind, control everything. And that's exactly what I did. Now, when people talk about success, they think it's all about talent. They think it's all about how good you are. Nah, success is about discipline. Discipline means doing things you don't want to do, but doing them like you love. When I didn't feel like running, I ran. When I didn't feel like training, I trained. When I didn't feel like getting up at 4 a.m., I got up. That's discipline. You know, people look at me and see the fights, see the wins, see the glory, but they don't see the sweat, they don't see the grind, they don't see the pain, they don't see the mornings. I woke up sore, tired, and just wanted to lay in bed, but I didn't. I got up and I trained because that's what discipline is. It's doing what you hate, but doing it like you love it. Now, I know it's easy to get distracted. Life throws a lot at you, distractions, doubts, fears, but that's when you need to double down. Discipline means you focus, you block everything else out, and you do what you gotta do. I've seen so many people, so many fighters, so much talent, but they lose their way because they can't control themselves. They let emotions, doubts, the pressure get to them. But me, I had the discipline to keep going, even when everything around me told me to quit. If you're not disciplined, you're nothing. I said that for a reason, because without discipline, you ain't got nothing. Talent means nothing. Willpower means nothing. You gotta be able to stick to the plan, to get up, to keep moving when everything inside you is saying no. That's the difference between a champion and just another guy. I ain't just talking about the gym. Nah, man, it's bigger than that. It's life. Discipline is about controlling yourself in every way. You want to be a fighter? You got to fight with your mind first. You want to be a champion? You got to be a champion in your heart. And it ain't easy. It ain't supposed to be, but it's worth it. Look, I've been through a lot. I've been up, I've been down, I've been broke, I've been on top of the world. I've had people love me and I've had people hate me, but the one thing that kept me going, the one thing that separated me from the rest was discipline. When everything was crashing down, when I had doubts, when I had no one around, discipline kept me in the game. And it's not just about doing the work, it's about doing the work, even when no one's watching. It's about the stuff you do when you're by yourself. Can you keep your mind sharp when no one's pushing you? Can you stay hungry when there's no one else around to push you? That's where discipline comes in. I've seen so many people get distracted. People get fame, people get money, and they lose focus. They lose the discipline. They think they've made it. But nah, man, the work don't stop. You gotta keep working, you gotta keep pushing. The hardest thing is not when you're at the top, it's staying at the top. And the only way to stay at the top is discipline. When I was training, it wasn't just about punches, it was about everything. Every move had a purpose. Every step had a purpose, and that purpose came from discipline. It wasn't about being the toughest guy, the biggest guy, the fastest guy. It was about being the most disciplined. That's what made me dangerous. People talk about fighting and they think it's all about throwing punches. Nah, the real fight happens before the bell rings. The real fight is the discipline to show up every day, to get better, to improve. The real fight is the fight inside you, the fight to stay focused, the fight to keep pushing even when you don't feel like it. You don't have to be the best right now. You don't have to be the strongest right now, but you got to have the discipline to work. You got to have the discipline to keep going. And when you do, when you stick to it, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. It's about control. You got to control your thoughts, control your mind, control your emotions. When you do that, nothing can stop you. But when you let your emotions take over, that's when you lose. I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn how to control my anger, my fear, my frustration. And once I did, I became unstoppable. Discipline is about knowing what you want and doing whatever it takes to get it. It's not easy. It's not meant to be, but nothing worth having comes easy. So when you feel tired, when you feel like quitting, when you feel like the world is against you, that's when you need discipline the most. That's the key. Discipline will take you places. It'll take you higher than you ever imagined. But you got to be willing to do what it takes. You got to be willing to sacrifice, to get uncomfortable, to get better every single day. So I'm telling you this, if you want success, if you want to be great, you got to be disciplined. It don't matter how tough you are, how smart you are, how talented you are. If you ain't disciplined, you ain't going to make it. Discipline is the foundation. It's the secret sauce. It's what separates the good from the great. Remember what I said, if you're not disciplined, you're nothing. That's the truth. So now it's up to you. Are you going to be disciplined, or are you going to let life pass you by? The choice is yours. No discipline, no success, period.